What up? What up? What up? Rec League Podcast, man. Episode number 8, aka the Ocho. Uh, I owe a little bit of an apology. If there were anybody that I've trained to expect a new episode every other Monday, and last Monday was the Monday that you guys were checking for this episode, that's my bad, man. I work 40 hours a week. I'm married. I have pets. Life got in the way, and the episode had to be pushed back to right now. And that's my bad, man. So that also brings me to the announcement that this is going to be the only episode for November. Expect episode 9 the first weekend in December. I don't want to do it next week just to keep the same cycle. So episode 10 would have been December 2nd or something. So episode 9 is going to be December 2nd or something. You feel what I'm saying? So what to expect on today's episode? I'm about to break down these poll questions. I'm about to talk a little bit about recent current movie topics. Legacy gonna pop in. We're gonna discuss Daredevil season 3. And then my guy, O-Dog, what up? O-Pizzle, Orlando Penner. He popped in episode 3, episode 4, right before college football started. And he was going to do the same thing for college basketball. I'm not a huge college basketball guy. I know who's good, but I really don't watch it enough to consider myself a fan. So that's going to get pushed to the next episode. And I'm going to talk about the Jimmy Butler trade, current NFL, NBA things. And then after that, I got a new segment I want to squeeze in. It's like an extension of hip-hop. The segment is called Bars. And I'm just going to, in the group chat, me, Legacy, and OldManLawrence, more than just discuss the show and discuss what we're going to talk about on the show, we send rhymes back and forth. So in between shows, I just want to get on here and share with y'all what I think my dopest bars were in between episodes. And then OldManLawrence is going to come in. We're going to talk about that Apollo Brown, Joel Ortiz, Mona Lisa album. And then hopefully y'all can ride with that for 3 weeks. And I'll be back in December. Before I ride out and get y'all these polls, man, every share, every mention, every like, every subscription is all appreciated. If this episode, if Desperado gets 1 YouTube view, 2 listens over on Anchor, it's all love. It's all appreciated. And but tell y'all friends about the Facebook page, man. Tell y'all friends about the Instagram page. Tell y'all friends about the Twitter feed. It's all love, man. Help build the audience. You know what I mean? Help and let me know, man. Tell me I invited these people. These people liked. I'll shout you out on the show for building the audience. Cause none of this, I never in a million years thought that I would be 8 episodes into a podcast. None of these episodes will be anything without the audience, man. So I got a few Twitter polls to get at y'all. And the first one is all the way back when Hunter Killer came out. Hunter Killer starring Gerard Butler comes out this weekend, which was Halloween weekend. Which is your favorite of his movies? Comment unavailable choices or the right answer of waiting for Marvel Studios to cast him as Kraven the Hunter in a future Spider-Man sequel. The choices were 300, Law Abiding Citizen, Olympus Has Fallen, and Den of Thieves. 300 ran away with that with 63%. Olympus Has Fallen got 25. Law Abiding Citizen, which is mad underrated, came with 13. And then Den of Thieves, has nobody seen Den of Thieves, man? Den of Thieves is low-key the best straight action movie of the year. But it got 0%. And even though they might as well have just called it Heat, because it is a Heat knockoff, but that doesn't mean it's not good. The next poll question I'm gonna hit you guys with is what was your favorite October release? Of course, comment unavailable answers. I had A Star Is Born, Venom, First Man, and Halloween. And Venom, in an upset, in my opinion, runs away with this with 40%. A Star Is Born, 33. Halloween got 27. And no love, like just like Den of Thieves, like no votes for First Man. That's a little shocking to me. And next, I did because this was the end of the month. This was turn of the calendar. Which is your most anticipated November release? Comment unavailable answers. I got The Grinch, Overlord, Fantastic Beasts, and Creed 2 is the choices. And in a tie, Fantastic Beasts and Creed 2 both had 41%. Overlord had 12, and The Grinch had 6. I got a homie saying that he picked the wrong choice. And one comment for Ralph Breaks the Internet. Shout out to Benny Batros on Twitter. Voted for Ralph Breaks the Internet. And then this weekend's poll questions. First one, will J.J. Abrams and Overlord pull a huge swerve? And will Overlord still be a Cloverfield related movie? Because this was like, I read up and I had heard of Overlord around like February, right after the Cloverfield Paradox come out, and everybody said, hey, this is Cloverfield 4. JJ like later on said, no, it's just another bad robot production. Obviously the choices are yes and no. The no's ran away with this with 65%. 35%, I'm pretty sure you can only vote once, but I think OldManLawrence might have been every yes vote on Twitter. And lastly, The Grinch steals Christmas again this weekend. Which is your favorite Dr. Seuss theatrical release? Before this weekend, there were only 4 theatrical Dr. Seuss movies, so it fit perfect. Jim Carrey's Grinch, Cat in the Hat with Mike Myers, Jim Carrey's Horton Hears a Who, and The Lorax, which is also, as well as The Grinch and Illumination production. I kept retweeting and sharing this poll, and I swear, like the first 3 days it was out, every vote was for Jim Carrey's Grinch, which won with 71%. The Cat in the Hat and Horton Hears a Who both got 14. No love for The Lorax. I remember thinking it was fine, but I haven't seen it in years. That is it for the Rec League poll questions for this episode, man. Rec League podcast, man. We ain't your first choice, but we got a little bit of everything over here, man. When I get back, we gonna talk about some movie news topics, bruh. And we are back with the movie segment now, man. I want to touch on Blu-rays real quick. I want to touch on theatrical releases real quick. And, the first Tuesday since the last episode, Sorry to Bother You came out, man. Lakeith Stanfield, Tessa Thompson, directed by Boots Riley. It was a blind buy, man. I didn't hear one bad review about it. I haven't seen it yet. I plan to watch it soon. But I had to make that blind buy. I heard it's completely bananas, and I'm all for bananas. The week after that, Teen Titans Go to the Movies came out, which I thought was good. It's entertaining. Teen Titans Go is aimed at younger kids, but some of the humor was funny. It got a bit over the top, and then that same Tuesday, DC also released the complete Batman the Animated Series special edition, limited edition box set, dope edition. It came with 3 keychain size little Funko Pops of Batman, Joker, and Harley Quinn. I watched the episode where the Riddler has Batman and Robin in the maze, and then I watched the episode where some dude makes a Joker themed amusement park just to collect that insurance money because he knew the Joker is crazy enough to come and wreck it. And bruh, you won't catch me talking about how sharp and clear and good an animated Blu-ray looks, but The Batman the Animated Series Blu-ray looks amazing. It looks gorgeous. And then this past Tuesday, I could say the same thing about DC and Warner Brothers, but I feel like it's a little bush league that Disney released Christopher Robin and The Incredibles both on the same Tuesday. Like you couldn't have waited like 2 weeks and released Christopher Robin, because the first Tuesday in November is always reserved for that Pixar movie. But it's like bro, like a lot of Blu-ray purchasers are, broke. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how else to put it. Like dudes got bills and family and obligations. And Disney Blu-rays aren't cheap, man. It was like $50 combined. And the only place I can in person visually anally inspect my slipcovers is Walmart. And since I want to say since Black Panther, Walmart has not gotten the basic Blu-ray digital copy DVD edition of a Disney Blu-ray, because Infinity War, A Wrinkle in Time, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Solo, they don't have any of those. It's all just a Blu-ray. It's all just bare bones Blu-ray. So I had to order mine from Best Buy. So I got taxed the shipping, and it adds on, and I'm sitting here kind of complaining. I really enjoy both of them movies. My reviews, any movie I talk about, as I always say, is on my Randy Little YouTube channel. And then Black Klansman, Spike Lee's most recent movie, came out, which I also, because my theater didn't get these. Like, I'm a white dude, and I haven't seen Sorry to Bother You or Black Klansman. I really wanted to, but my theater didn't get them, and it's the only theater in town. And I blind bought the Blu-ray, and before the year is over, I will have seen Sorry to Bother You and Black Klansman. I'm looking forward to both of them. They both look great. Theatrically, I think Hunter Killer came out. I skipped it. I think I watched Halloween for a second time that weekend. And then last weekend, Bohemian Rhapsody came out. Rami Malek deserves, at the very least, an Oscar nomination. I really don't know who's going to be good enough to beat him, but he became Freddie Mercury. The Nutcracker in the Four Realms came out. I wanted to see it, didn't have time. Drop a voice message, drop a comment on YouTube. Let me know how it was if you saw it. And then Nobody's Fool. Like, I'm not a Tyler Perry guy, so I didn't see Nobody's Fool, even though I love Tiffany Haddish, man. She's hysterical. And then Ghost from Power is in that too. And when he keep running off, I know the cast. Jimmy Olsen from Supergirl is also in Nobody's Fool. This past weekend, The Grinch came out. I'm an Illumination guy. I think they're the most underrated animation studio in Hollywood or in movies, whatever. Obviously, Disney and or Pixar is the GOAT. And then I would put DreamWorks second. But then you got Illumination, which has done the Despicable Me series. Like, say what you want about the series. The first one's amazing. The second one is funny. The third one is funny, but they're not as good. And then Minions, while the movie may be useless, it made money. Like, you can't argue with success. You can be mad at it, but you can't knock anything that made over $1 billion worldwide. I really like The Secret Life of Pets, even though people compared it to Toy Story. I think Sing might be their most underappreciated release. And while The Grinch is very entertaining, it does what the Ron Howard Grinch did, and it has to, because you have to expand to get into theaters. You have to expand on that 35, 45-minute TV special. And, they altered some music to make it more hip-hoppy. Pharrell narrates instead of Anthony Hopkins. It has its pluses and minuses and slight alterations, but at the end of the day, the Illumination Grinch and the Ron Howard Grinch, both Universal made, they're the same movie at the end of the day. So you like one, you're gonna like the other. I also saw Overlord, which I loved. It's a World War II movie like nothing you've ever seen. I'm not gonna spoil my poll question and let y'all know whether it is or is not Cloverfield 4. I'm just saying, go see it. It deserves your price of admission. Wherever you are, whatever your tickets cost, it deserves that money. And The Girl in the Spider's Web, man. I was a bit let down with this one. It's not bad. It's just, instead of the dark, gloomy, investigative thriller, it unfolds, it executes its story, its plot unravels kind of like a comic book movie. And while the movie isn't bad, I was wanting a similar movie to what David Fincher did. Um, Once again, every review is up on the Randy Little YouTube channel. Check those out. Subscribe while you're there, please. Now for a couple stories, I only got like one or two, man. Over the past couple weeks, Will Smith and Martin Lawrence been teasing Bad Boys 3. And I think Martin Lawrence posted a picture. It looks like they're in Miami. They're together. Will Smith posted a video. Like it's November. It was posted, I think, in October, but still, that's not April. Please don't be swerving. Please don't be pulling no fleece job. Please finally start filming Bad Boys 3. Bad Boys itself is like my second favorite buddy cop movie. It's my favorite Michael Bay movie, and I really hope this movie finally gets made. I feel like there was like one or two other headlines that I wanted to discuss, man. Yeah, before we get on to Daredevil 3, Rami Malek, man, but like he doing his press runs for Bohemian Rhapsody. If I correct me if I'm wrong, comments, voice messages, whatever you want to do, you know, if you want audio or YouTube, this dude has like known anxiety issues. Like my guy at work, shout out Roberto, he brought this up to me. Some fan wanted a video with him, and he was like, nah, like no videos, please, but I'll do a picture. And like he's getting blasted on social media, or was around the time the movie came out, of like, I don't know, being like rude towards fans, like as like mental health conscious as people want to be today. Y'all want to bash this dude because he didn't want to do a video, because he like has known anxiety. Like, bruh, like a referee in a sporting event, man, call it down the middle. If you're gonna, oh man, mental health issues must be acknowledged. We have to take care of our mental health. Like, celebrities aren't property. Like, somebody that makes a movie, plays on a field, plays on a court, records in a studio is just as human as the guy in the cubicle or the homeless dude that's outside of the corner store. Everybody's got issues, man. If you want to take care of person A's mental health, you got to take care of person Z's mental health that has the money to pay for that shit. So when I get back, we gonna discuss Daredevil Season 3, Wilson Fisk, Bullseye, Karen Page, Matt Murdock, with my guy Legacy, man. What up, y'all? I told y'all that we was coming back. I told y'all my guy Legacy, man, was coming on here. We talking Daredevil Season 3, spoilers, just like we did Iron Fist Season 2. RIP to Iron Fist. If you haven't seen this season of Daredevil, go to my Randy Little YouTube page, and I got a more or less spoiler-free video that I just posted the other day. And then come back and rock with us on the Rec League podcast, man. But I took the reins of the Iron Fist plot synopsis last time, man. So just go through the plot once again. No holds barred. Say whatever you want. The viewers, the listeners have been warned. Something is getting spoiled if they haven't seen this season, dog. Take it away.
All right, so in this one, Daredevil is still, pretty much messed up from the whole Defenders situation or whatever. He's supposed to be dead in Karen's eyes and Froggy's eyes. He's dead. Karen don't believe it. You know what I mean? So she's still like taking care of his apartment and getting his mail for him and all that stuff. Froggy thinks he's gone, like he can't come back or whatever.
I'm gonna have to cut you off and clown you real quick because you keep saying Froggy and I keep wanting to laugh very hard.
Why?
Because his name is Foggy.
Foggy, yeah. Oh, yeah, it is Foggy. Yeah, but you know what I mean.
I
But
do.
Foggy, he thinks that that his boy is dead or whatever. So he don't think he's coming back. Karen, she's more like, no, he's not dead. The whole, until it's revealed that he's not. Um, this season to me was a lot more about Kingpin than it was um Matt Murdock in the beginning. It was a lot of Kingpin putting a lot of chess pieces into play to do the things that he wanted to do. He was locked up. He was worried about his lady like he always is, which is his biggest weakness, honestly.
Yeah.
Is his lady. Um, so Matt Murdock is pretty much being taken care of by the church, by the priests and the nuns, and they're bringing him back or whatever. Which is there's this big thing with because one of the nuns is actually his mother, and he finds that out later in the season. Um, and Matt is being played to look like the bad guy in this season. So for most of the season, he's looking like Daredevil is the bad guy. Kingpin is now this rejuvenated good guy who's now pretty much snitching on all the bad people, like he's but it's all just a plot for Kingpin to make the moves that he wanted to make. So I mean that's pretty much how the season plot played out. Is that Matt Murdock was the bad guy and Kingpin was the real bad guy, but he also had a secondary bad guy. So it was a very dope season.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how that played out.
What is it? What's the tower? I want to say it's like Goliath Tower. I feel like I'm thinking of How I Met Your Mother and Goliath National Bank.
It is Goliath Tower.
Is it
right?
Goliath Tower? Man,
Yeah.
if we're wrong, man, if you're on YouTube and we're wrong, curse us out in the comment section. Send us a voice message on the audio
I already
only.
called my man Froggy, so you know what I
You
mean.
did, yeah,
Right.
and go hard on Legacy right quick for calling Foggy Nelson Froggy. But yeah, like it's real dope the way Matt wakes up. Yeah, he's in the Covenant or whatever. They're all taking care of him, but he like what they said in the trailers. He said, "I can't be Matt Murdock anymore. The only way to beat darkness is to become darkness. I can only be Daredevil. I'd rather live as Daredevil and then die as Matt Murdock or whatever he said."
Yeah.
And Fisk is in jail at the start. He basically like runs hustle moves on Agent Nadeem from the FBI. In my spoiler-free video, I said Madani. I psyched myself out. I said Madani, thinking of the Punisher when I knew it was Nadeem. And then this dude like falls for it, puts him up in a fucking sweet ass hotel. That Fisk.
But it's his original house though.
Yeah.
His original apartment.
Yeah, because he owns that shit. And it's what he ends up like snitching on the competition. And then there's like an ambush, like Aryans or some other like group of gangsters try to take Kingpin out when he's in transit, and that's when Agent Ben Poindexter like saves everybody in the convoy, who he ends up becoming Bullseye. And my takeaway, like, I didn't like that they kept Matt away from Karen and Foggy for so long, but it's like once episode 6 hits, every episode is fucking action, and like the fight scenes look real dope. Like I've said multiple times when I'm talking about the Marvel Netflix joints that Iron Fist and Daredevil, in my opinion, got the dopest fight scenes, the dopest choreography, because they be doing it all in one take, and it's all like karate, and it's all choreographed real dope. And another thing, I didn't like that the FBI dude got so much screen time, but then he ended up becoming so important to the overall season. So it was like I was torn about it.
I like that Matt Murdock or Daredevil was kept away from Karen and Foggy for so long, because to me it made it real. It made I mean, we as the audience know that he's not, but for them it was like it was this whole we got to move on without him thing going. So and it put things in perspective of like, okay, Matt Murdock is gone, Karen is now doing this, she's prospering, Foggy is now doing this, he's prospering. So like the Matt Murdock coming back kind of ruined their new life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was dope to me because it was like honestly, the Daredevil character holds back his friends, which is something he preached the whole show he didn't want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
Was
feel
hold
that.
back Foggy and Karen, or put them in harm's way, or keep them from doing the things they want to do. You know what I mean? So I thought that was dope. The Bullseye character is fire. He fire. I thought he was a good opposite of Daredevil. You know what I mean? Because Daredevil was so close combat. I want to be close to you and just brutally beat you up. And Bullseye is like, no, I'm gonna take space and throw things at you, and if you can't get close to me. So it's one of those things like, I need to fight you close, and he's like, no, I need to fight you far. So it was a dope, you know. So I thought that was dope.
I also didn't like that they never called him Bullseye, but I think if because you never know with Netflix, if we get season 4, they'll start calling him Bullseye just because of how it ended.
Yeah, I think because what I think is going to happen is they're going to take it on the Marvel stream or whatever. I'm hoping that the Marvel stream thing is why this is happening the way it's happening. I think moving forward he'll get a suit and he'll take on his name Bullseye or whatever. But I thought the one thing that I have to say that I didn't like, I didn't think that the last scene, the whole Kingpin, giving up and all that. Like I didn't like how it particularly ended. I thought it was dope. I thought that whole fight scene was dope, but like just how it ended, like I felt like Bullseye lost too easy, and then I felt like Kingpin lost too easy. You know what I mean? Like,
so I don't know. I think because it ended up, for lack of a better phrase, it ended up being a triple threat match. Like Bullseye realized he had got played, but he still had beef with Daredevil. So that put all three of them at odds with each other, and it was like Kingpin basically like pulled a wrestling move and broke his back. Like I won't say he went out too easy, but it set him up that ain't nobody safe in the next season, and that's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite finales of any Marvel Netflix show that they've put out. That's one of the dopest fights. That's one of the dopest fights.
No, but like just in perspective though, like this is me nitpicking too because I love this season. So it ain't like this is me nitpicking.
Yeah.
When you put in perspective how much of a fight Bullseye gives Daredevil, right? And then you put in perspective how tough of a fight Daredevil gives Kingpin all the time, right?
Yeah.
I feel like when it came to Bullseye fighting Kingpin, it was like one of those things where it was like no competition. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so when the triple threat fight is happening, Daredevil is holding his own against both.
Mm-hmm.
Kingpin is holding his own against Daredevil, but Kingpin is just washing Bullseye. You know what I mean? That's why, like that's the thing that threw me off. Is like I feel like Kingpin and Bullseye is a better fight than what we got.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel
so
that.
That's me nitpicking still, but I'm just saying when you're in perspective, you know what I mean? Like,
and then what it like
Bullseye actually fought Daredevil tougher than Kingpin did the first time.
Yeah, like my second favorite fight is probably when Bullseye attacks the newspaper.
Yeah.
And then Murdoch had to like pull a suit out of his ass and go toe to toe. But Bullseye got him because he got him with the scissors, and then he got him. I don't know, he cut him or stabbed him somewhere else. So I think Bullseye took that one. But then,
but that's the thing is that, and Daredevil is agile. Like, he can.
He's a ninja.
Kingpin is not agile like that. Like he's more like walk up to you, beat you up or whatever. So I feel like Bullseye could have done much more damage to Kingpin. You know what I'm saying? Based on that. But let me say this about this season, dog. The whole Karen backstory was dope.
You like that?
I like. Huh?
That's the one thing I completely forgot about. There was like the one, I think it was the episode like Karen like admitted to Fisk what she did with Wesley, and then that's when she called her pops, right? And it just ended with her dad just being an asshole. And then, yeah, I mean, it was cool.
I mean, like, because we've always, like, since Daredevil, one?
Yeah, she's kind of had a
Karen has always
mysterious
been
background.
like, she's always been like this weak, you gotta save her chick. Like, you always have to save her. Like, she was always, it's always, if you remember, like, if you watch Daredevil 1 again in the very beginning,
I just watched it a couple months ago.
She was like, she couldn't help herself, dude.
Yeah.
Like, she was always
she's gotten stronger. Between
everything that she's been on, she's gotten stronger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like now we get to see, like, you know, where she get it from.
Between every season of Daredevil, the Defenders, the Punisher, yeah, like Karen's grown every year. And this is the first season that I actually like Foggy.
Yeah, I like Foggy more this season too because he wasn't. He always was whining too.
Exactly.
Like, he always was like,
from the point he found out Matt was Daredevil.
Don't do that. Don't do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I feel like this is one of the ones where he was like, "Nah, I'm gonna do something." You know what I mean? Like, I thought that was dope. I thought that the supporting cast was very dope.
Yeah.
In this season.
Yeah.
That scene where Daredevil goes to the jail using Foggy's identity.
Yeah,
him trying to escape the whole situation.
That was so dope.
Fire. That was fire. Even before he was actually trying to get out, and he was just stuck in that room, and they drugged him.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
And he thought he was hallucinating or something, right? And Fisk had him on the phone and was like, "I know who you are."
Yo, and when he threw that dude's head into that bed table thing, the metal edge part of it, I was like, "Oh, that's crazy." Yo,
yeah,
that was crazy. This season was fire, and it's up there. It's like, when in comparisons.
But then, like, hold on, I want to go back to that last scene, that last interaction between Fisk and Daredevil, man, because I think it was literally in that moment, more than any other moment Daredevil's ever been in on Netflix. I think that moment was the Man Without Fear. He was just going blow on blow on blow, and Fisk was trying to get him to compromise his morals. And he just told him, "Nah, you gonna go back to jail." I think, like, you know, like, fan prediction, whatever, I think they're gonna throw him in the raft because he can compromise anybody else in any other prison. But you gonna go back to jail, you gonna do your time, and if you do any type of dirt, I'm coming for your girl. And that's what Kingpin, he had to fold. He ain't had no choice.
But that's the thing too.
And you said his biggest weakness is his girl.
I thought it was gonna happen this season, and honestly, I feel like Kingpin can't fully be Kingpin until she dies. Like, I feel like she has to die. You know what I mean? Like, not, you know, it sucks, but reality is, for him to be full, and I thought it was going to be this season. Like, I thought she was going to die in this season. I really did. The whole season.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't have Bullseye get her.
And he's going to become full-blown Kingpin, and he's going to be crazy. Because because she's his weakness. Like, he literally has, but in the comics, he doesn't really have a weakness like that.
And then that would be like, if he can get out and, like, not clear his record, you know what I'm saying, but become untouchable, then he could go on this vendetta against all heroes, and you could cross him into Spider-Man and use Vincent D'Onofrio, because he gives damn near the best villain performance in any Marvel space. Whatever, you know, Runaways, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Cinematic Universe, Netflix. He gives pretty much the best villain performance of any villain on screen. And you could use him anywhere. Yeah.
He is dope. He's very dope as a villain. I still got a favorite, though.
I mean, yeah, like, favorite as far as powers and how they're used against the hero, of course, that's Kilgrave, hands down. But as far as acting and performance, like, Vincent D'Onofrio is almost top.
Yeah, like, he's real with it. Like, it's dope. I also liked. I also wanted to see Foggy actually become, like, the mayor or whatever.
I did too.
I wanted him to have that role, you know, and I thought they were gonna do it. You know
I did too.
Like, because they were making it look like at first he couldn't win, and then the more it went on, it was like, okay, he can win, and I wanted him to. You know what I mean?
Because he got the cops on his side.
Because that would have been a dope thing for him to been, you know, the mayor of whatever.
Yeah.
And then Daredevil be there. You know what I mean? Like.
And
I
then
thought that
whichever
was really dope.
shows, like he could pop into whichever show that they needed him for, because he run in New York.
Yeah, and they kind of been bouncing him around lately anyway.
Yeah,
as the lawyer, but
because
as
he was working for Jerry.
Yeah, but now in that role they could have literally used him for anything. So I think that they should have done that. I don't know. I feel like Marvel itself is in an interesting space right now because I feel like Daredevil, the way it ended was like it ended perfectly for another season and for the next season to be better than this one. You know what I mean?
You could say the same
We
about Luke
discussed
Cage
it,
and Iron Fist.
but that's what I'm saying. That's why I say I feel like Marvel's in an interesting space because the way Iron Fist ended, it was like they had set up so much stuff for the next season to be the best one.
Yeah.
Even Luke Cage, the way it ended with him, being in charge of the club and all that, the way it ended, it was like, yo, next season's gonna be crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
I really hope Netflix just has Heroes for Hire in their back pocket and they just ain't ready to announce it. But again, that's fan speculation and fingers crossed that they actually do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think they have to continue these seasons, man. I'm gonna be highly disappointed if they don't.
I am disappointed until they announce something.
Yeah, because it was like because we already loved the Marvel series. We already loved them.
Yeah.
But it felt like they were about to take off, like they had hit stride. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like to end it like this would be like I would feel unfulfilled. You know what I mean?
You right.
So
any last little tidbits, little comments you want to get in before we ride out?
Daredevil season 3
out of 5, what you give it?
5.
The 5?
Yeah, I give it a 5 because like the thing, like to complain about season 3, honestly, you have to nitpick. You have to like the arguments is nitpicking. Like the twist that the nun was his mom was fire. That was fire.
I think we knew that seasons ago.
We knew.
The way that he took it. Yeah, the way that he took it was really dopely written.
Yeah. The fight scenes was fire. I mean, this is honestly, it's for me. It's season 1. I don't know. I gotta look at that. It's a top 3 season for me though. It's a top 3.
I give it a 4.5 out of 5. Like I said, it took a little while to get going for me. Like the first half of the season was a little slow for my taste, and I think overall, as far as Marvel on Netflix, I think I put it 4th after Daredevil season 1, The Punisher, and Luke Cage season 2.
Yeah, I think it would be. I think it would be season 1 for me, Luke Cage season 2 for me, then this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I mean, that's it for the movie segment, man. When I come back, we gonna do something sports. I'm still pulling strings right at the minute, but it's not gonna seem like it as far as airtime. Y'all know how I do, man. Rec League Podcast. For the hip hop joint, we gonna try to get Legacy back, man. But don't hold me to it. Rec League Podcast, man. And we are back, man. Sports is going to be super duper uber short because, like I said, we got to postpone the college basketball talk. Only thing I know about college basketball is Duke is nice. In Indy, they just destroyed Kentucky. And that's it. I know Duke is nice. I know the big teams. I hope Indiana schools do good. That's all I know about college basketball. I like the NFL. I enjoy watching the National Football League. And the Rams are nice. The Saints are nice. I can't remember off the top of my head if me, Legacy, and OldManLawrence did the NFL prediction video after I had debuted the show. But my NFC Super Bowl pick, the Green Bay Packers, probably won't even make the playoffs. And the Steelers are starting to cook, though. That was my AFC champion pick, but I don't like the team. My Colts are starting to work. A little bit of humble brag. But I'm gonna talk about the Jimmy Butler trade because I could talk about Clay going off in Chicago, blah blah. Golden State Warriors are the epitome of NBA greatness right now. I still think LeBron James looks weird in a Lakers jersey, but the Lakers are getting to be fun to watch. And Jimmy Butler, man, since the preseason, he's just been yapping and yapping and yapping and yapping. He was going to yap his way out of Minnesota, and that's what happened. But shout out to the Minnesota Timberwolves and their entire organization for not giving in and sending him to a team that he listed off. I'm from the old school, man. I am annoyed by players dictating where they're going to go. I guess Minnesota finished up this road trip and went winless. So they finally pulled the trigger. Excuse me. And Jimmy Butler to the Sixers. I'm not Stephen A. Smith out here talking about, oh, now the Sixers the team to beat. Oh, they haven't played one game together, but they better than Boston. They better than Toronto. They better than the Milwaukee Bucks and the Greek Freak. The Sixers are going to be fun to watch. It's going to take time for them to gel. And then what happens when Jimmy Butler changes his mind about staying in Philly long term? What happens when, like, you've already seen 1,000,003 memes about it. What happens when Jimmy Butler decides that Markelle Fultz and or Ben Simmons is soft? Me as a fan, like, I like Ben Simmons. I think Ben Simmons is very dope. But what happens when Jimmy Butler might be that new guy that's locker room cancer, like they say about Dwight Howard, like they say about Carmelo Anthony, and he think he better than everybody in the gym, but don't nobody want to play with him, or he don't want to play anywhere that he ends up, and he's another one of these dudes who doesn't want to play with LeBron. Like, do you not like championships? Like, you go to the Lakers next year, that's an automatic chip. If it's Jimmy Butler or Kawhi Leonard. And I mean, that's really all that I got to say about Jimmy Butler to the Sixers. Like, I'm looking forward to see what they can do. As a Pacer fan, I hate that he's in the East. I hate that he makes the Sixers better. But I'm looking forward to seeing the final product of what this Sixer team looks like. I still don't know if they even gonna make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. They're the 3 seed though. And when I return, I'm gonna debut this new segment right quick. Yo. You think that your fucking ass is safe in that plastic case? Fake ass rappers just a basket case that masquerades? And I don't give a shit. But I am the type that flatulates when ass and face and your laugh is based on that I felt it coming at the waist. Now match the taste. I just attract the dope bars like a magnet's place in this world. So hold my nuts like bitches hold a grudge. Rappers auto-tune and act like that shit's not a crutch. Even though it make them sound sweeter than fudge. But I'm not Uncle Phil, yo. It's not my place to judge. Rec League, man, we back with the final segment of the 8th episode. And it's been a couple weeks, man, but that Apollo Brown, Joel Ortiz came out. As per usual, I got my dog, OldManLawrence, and we about to break down. This album is so dope, I kind of want to go track for track, but then it really don't matter, man, because this album is stupid dope, so we just going to talk about it. Mona Lisa is the title. It is 11 tracks. The track list I'm looking at has a bonus track that I ain't get, so it don't count.
Yeah, I haven't heard it yet either.
DJ Los is a feature. And he's just on track 5, just scratching. It's stupid dope. And then Royce the 5'9" is on track 9, called Timberland Up. But man, take it away, man. What you want to hit on first?
All right, so I'm a huge Apollo Brown fan. Like I'm a fanboy. Like this is the second album that he put out this year. His first one was No Question with Locksmith, which Locksmith is a dope MC, but you kind of got to be in a mood to listen to him. But Apollo Brown absolutely killed it on the instrumentals and the production. But yeah, this is the second album, and when this was first announced, like I remember telling y'all that this album was going to be crazy. Like I don't know how familiar everybody is with Apollo Brown, but his discography is crazy, man. It's so dope, and I have no problem saying that he is the best in the game right now. He's the best. He reminds me of early Kanye, minus the raps. He's soulful, man. The production is classic. But I remember telling y'all when this album was first announced that it was going to be bananas. What was it, like May, maybe?
Yeah, it was announced a long time ago.
Yeah, and it's like they're like October, and I was like, oh damn, that's like so far away. Like I was kind of upset, but I was hyped at the same time. Then the album finally came out, and yeah, man, that's where we're at. And it didn't disappoint at all, in my opinion.
Yeah, with all due respect, if we just talking about Apollo Brown first, with all due respect to KOD and Book of Ryan and whatever other album you want to throw in the pot, this is my favorite collection of production all year. Beats are crazy.
Production-wise, I think it'd be the best of the year, honestly. But that's just me, and because I'm a huge fan of Apollo Brown. Like, yeah.
I haven't heard of a lot of Apollo Brown, but I am about to go back through the catalog.
Dude, Anchovies, oh man,
yeah,
Grand
he's
got so much good shit, man. Trophies, he did he does projects with like solo. He did one with not OJ Simpson, Black Simpson, OJ Simpson, Black Simpson. Yeah, he's got a lot of albums out, man.
Yeah, man, and then Brushstrokes is just like a little soundbite. It's not even really a track, but it's still stupid dope. And then
like an introduction or whatever type thing. Yeah.
Joel come in on Reflection and kick just some of the dopest bars. Like I think his first verse on Reflection is my favorite verse on the whole album. Talking about how we acknowledge the okay and then ignore the great. Like I don't know word for word, but he's saying that so much regular stuff gets put on this pedestal and praised, and then dudes like, not to gloat but not to toot my own horn, but like I can't break in the game if I tried, and I'm nicer than most of who gets shine, and cause all these other dudes got these gimmicks, and then he said like, I guess when you gifted you wrap yourself into a box. Like I sent y'all that line the other day just messing around. Man, Joel, man, I've been on Joel since either Brother Ali's Us or that first Slaughterhouse album. They both come out in 2009.
Yeah.
Ortiz been killing in my, frame of hip hop for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Of course, he's been around longer.
Wow. I won't even front. Like I didn't really pick up on Ortiz. Like he wasn't on my radar until Slaughterhouse, of course. Mm-hmm. Obviously, won't even front on that. So I can't say like I've been following Joel Ortiz since like the early days or whatever. But yeah, me personally, I've been talking this whole time. I've been talking about Apollo Brown, like singing his praise. But Joel Ortiz is a nasty MC, man,
bruh.
And he definitely, I think, well, him and Royce. That's hard to say who's the best of Slaughterhouse, but I think him and Royce are clearly the two best.
Yeah, I think
out of Slaughterhouse. But everybody has their own opinion or flavor about that. But anyway, yeah, Joel Ortiz definitely brought the bars on this, and that's the first full length track on this, the first song or whatever. Yeah, it's stupid dope, and the beats. I'm gonna talk a lot about the beats on here, man. Honestly,
because man, I was telling y'all the other day, maybe because we was gonna do this last week, like I said earlier in the show, like this whole episode got delayed, whatever. I was telling y'all a week and a half or so ago, this is my favorite. Like this has everything I love about hip hop. There's street bars, there's stories, there's personal reflection, there's every single element that you want in true hip hop. This is damn near like I might be jumping to conclusions, like hyping it a little, but this is arguably a perfect album.
Yeah, I agree. Wholeheartedly. And we're only on the first full-length track. So we jump into track number 3, which is My Block.
My Block.
Probably the sickest beat on the entire album. Oh, this beat is so sick. Apollo, you are silly for this.
The nighttime projectiles alarm clock on My Block.
Yeah. Nice little sample there, or what do you call it? Give it love or whatever, a little shout out, whatever.
Man, he kind of like, obviously I don't know Joel Ortiz personally, man, but ever since I lived with you 10 years ago, I always wanted to like do a chorus or just have like a couple bars where I said like the train tracks and the cop sirens was my alarm clock. So I think it's like real dope that like the elements of the neighborhood he referred to as an alarm clock.
This honestly, I'll probably say it's like 2 more times in this video, but this is probably my favorite track on the whole album. It's My Block.
Yeah, it's dope.
Real shit.
It's dope. And it was track 4, Cocaine Fingertips. I was trying to put like my coworker, he's like young, early 20s. He got love for real hip hop, but I was trying to like, I guess the beat wasn't flashy enough for him on Cocaine Fingertips, and man, you tripping? Cocaine Fingertips is so dope. I can't feel the words on my tongue; they go numb.
Yeah, this is obviously the track where Joel Ortiz is flexing
hard.
Like
the
lyricism, the bars. Yeah, he's flexing on this track.
Yeah.
Verse 2, man, that verse 2 is up there for verse of the year. Like, no joke. The verse 2 was bananas, man.
Yeah.
Bananas. I think it's like the second or third day that this album came out. I think this is the verse that I said in the group chat. Like, I literally sat there, listened to it, paused it, typed it out, push play, paused it, typed it out, push play, paused it, typed it out. Like, this is the first verse that I sent, and I was like, damn, Ortiz,
murder.
Like, what?
Murder.
Bananas. The wordplay was crazy on this. Like it says, this is Cocaine Fingertips is a dope ass track, no pun. But yeah, it's basically just Ortiz flexing his lyrical talent, and it's off the hook.
Hell
and
yeah.
Apollo Brown killed the beat.
Yeah,
So
I love the Cocaine Fingertip beat.
But yeah, this beat is sick.
And it, by the grace of God, track 5, that's them scratches. DJ Losa, them scratches. It makes that shit.
Yep. Super dope track. I mean, I feel like we're just gonna keep repeating ourselves on this album. But
Yeah.
This is a dope track with Ortiz brings
No
bars,
skippers.
Apollo Brown brings the silly beat.
I'm
DJ
telling
Losa,
y'all.
Scratching it up, whatever. But yeah.
Any
solid.
hip hop heads watching, listening, this Apollo Brown, Joel Ortiz, no skippers. Every track goes in.
Nope. None.
And then actually track 6, That Place, might be like one of my top 2 favorite songs. It reminds me a lot of like Father Like Son from the Games album documentary.
Yep.
Because that place is a hospital. And the first verse, one of his boys is tragically shot down. And the next verse, he knocked up his girl and she's in a hospital giving birth. They whisper news.
Whatever, yeah.
What he said? They whisper news, but it hits you like they yelled in your face. That's so cold. Cause that's the realest. That's the realest shit.
Yeah.
That's so real.
This I think this is the track on the album that first hits you in your feels. You're like,
it's so relatable.
Right in your feels. Because we all feel the same way about the hospital, man. We all feel the same way.
Yeah.
Like you said, no disrespect to what the doctors and the nurses do. Basically, they perform miracles in there.
Facts.
But every time somebody's in the hospital, man, we all get that uncomfortable feeling.
Yep.
It's like a good and a bad thing. Like, it's mixed feelings. Like, somebody's dying or somebody's like extremely sick. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. And it could also be a place of like miracles. Like somebody being born or somebody being saved.
Give life and it gets taken.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the first track on it that kind of like hits you in your feels, and probably the most personal track on the entire album.
Yes.
Stupid dope song.
And then track 7 is called Word. And
yo, Word to my mother.
Is that Chris Rock? It sounds like Chris Rock.
I'm not gonna front. I don't know what that's from.
I don't know what that's
when
from
I hear
either.
that shit, every time I hear it, I'm like, oh yeah,
Here we go.
Yeah.
But
This is another real dope track, man.
he for the most part, he really just rapping about like dodging snitches, and they come from like the most personal people that you know. Like your closest people can end up snitching on you.
Yeah, not only that, but just like it's like, man, it's like life in general, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like word of mouth. Like there's really no hook on it. Like he has a hook.
Yeah.
But the hook is basically just like word to my mother. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
Word to my mother. Like he's like testifying, like telling his truth or whatever on this whole track, and this.
He's going at somebody face to face, and like, I can't believe it was you. Word to my mother, and then moves on to the next snitch.
Yeah, it's super dope. He talks about a couple different types of relationships or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, this is God.
Yeah,
man, this whole album, man. Damn. This is track number 7. Word is up there towards the top.
Yeah,
if you ask me.
And then track 8 is called Decisions, and I don't know if it's technically a single, but it's like the first track they released, like teaser track to hype the album.
Yep.
And he's comparing hip hop and selling. And the comparisons, like it's been done a million times, but Ortiz is just so creative and lyrical that it's still so dope.
Yeah, it's a super cliche song, but that beat is so sick. Apollo Brown, man, you're nasty for that one. You're nasty for that one. And yeah. This is the first track that I heard, so more or less, like this is the one track on the album that's kind of played out to me because I'll listen. Like I pre-ordered this album like as soon as it was announced. But as soon as you pre-order, like this is the first track you got. So I was like spinning this like crazy. Like, you wouldn't believe that. I listened to this maybe in one day like 6 or 7 times in a row. Like that's how it was like every day. I was so hyped on this album.
You sent it to the group chat. You sent it to the group chat. Excuse me. And I bumped it once or twice, and I hadn't heard it since it was announced. So
dude, it was so sick. Like like you said, he kind of compares like the rap game to the dope game or whatever. Like decisions.
Yeah.
Do I do this or do I do that? You know what I mean? Like, and his wordplay is stupid on this. He's got bars. Apollo Brown kills. Oh God!
You want him to say, "Ooh, that boy dope," or "Be a dope boy." Decisions.
Yeah, he's definitely got some wordplay on that.
But them krills, man, they move. But yeah, like this is cold to me. I'm telling you, like I hadn't heard this since you first sent it. And but when my first couple spins, I was like, why does this sound familiar? Why have I heard this shit before? Because I forgot it was the teaser track, and then it clicked like, okay, this was the single.
Yeah.
And then track 9, That's the Way You Get Timberland Up, featuring Royce da 5'9". And I don't know if I just like get so in the vibe with Joel and what he's spitting throughout, but I was a little underwhelmed by Royce's verse. But he killed it.
Yeah, bro.
Like,
yeah.
It's a catch-22. I love Royce. Booker Ryan. He murdered that Eminem. Say what?
I'm gonna touch on that too. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I feel the exact same way. Like, if you were to ask me, like right now, like straight up, honestly, like who was the artist of the year? I think Royce da 5'9" would get my vote. I think he is. I don't think it is an argument really. I think he is artist of the year. Like I think the stuff that he put out, the quality. 2 albums. Some freestyles here and there, some guest spots.
Yep.
I don't think anybody had a year like Royce da 5'9".
Agree 1,000%.
It was super mediocre for Royce, man. It was so mediocre, man. And I was a little disappointed. Like, but it goes well. Like it goes well with the song or whatever.
Yeah.
Ortiz gets the best of him, which he should. You know, it's his album or whatever. But yeah, I was a little let down by the Royce feature, which is kind of like the low point of the album.
I was like, it's how I feel, so I got to keep it 100. But I thought you was gonna go in on me.
Nah. I feel the exact same way, man. I was a little let down by the Royce feature.
Yeah. Track 10, Come Back Home.
Stupid dope.
I remember it's dope, but I think like every time I push play in the car, I end up starting to track 1. So we're starting to get in like my commute to and from work. The end of the album is what I hear the least. So
it ends about right here.
Yeah, like we're getting to the tracks that are a little foggy in my memory right now.
Yeah, this is basically a track more or less about not forgetting where you come from, man. That's basically what it boils down to, and like it's super dope, man. This is another track where Ortiz gets a little personal, and this is oh God, you can't say nothing about the production on this, man. Like Apollo Brown, it's like the beats on this are just sick, man. Like I can't. I sound stupid. I keep saying the same thing, but yeah, he killed this entire album. But yeah, this is another one of the personal tracks. Come Back Home. So yeah, and then after that we got number 11, which is the title track, Mona Lisa.
Title track, Mona Lisa, the last track on the standard version of the album.
This I could argue for this being my favorite song on the album as well, man. God, it's not very often that an album comes out that's super dope, super legit, and then the last track is powerful as fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is one of the dopest closing songs I've heard in a long time, man. Like for real. Like J. Cole, KOD, technically the bonus track or whatever doesn't really count, but the song before that, that's probably the closest thing I can think of like this year to where like you ended the album just like
on a high note.
Yeah. Like you were feeling that shit.
You got everybody waiting for your next project.
Huh?
So you got everybody waiting for your next project.
Yeah. And that's the one thing about Apollo Brown that like it's like a love-hate thing. Like I love Apollo Brown, like his production, like what he does, like his craft, like it's beautiful, it's amazing, it's pure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can't front on it, but like he always changes artists. Like I want an Anchovies Part 2. Like I want Apollo Brown and Planet Asia to do their thing again. Like I want Apollo Brown and Joel Ortiz to do their thing again. Like these are things that I want. Like I want an entire like Apollo Brown Odyssey album, man. I don't know, they had the one track from the album a couple albums ago. It's like Apollo Brown is this thing like he singles out these artists, and I'm like, oh, I want more. Like I want like Royce and DJ Premier how he did the Prime or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I want an Apollo Brown and Anchovies or Planet Asia Part 2. I want Apollo Brown and Joel Ortiz Part 2, man. So that's like the love-hate relationship I have with Apollo Brown. Like, I love him, but he gets with these artists, and I just want more, man. I want more.
If Apollo and Joel go again, they got to title it 16th Chapel.
Yeah. Nasty.
Man. Should we even tease? I mean, I know what you're going to rate this. Out of 5?
Yeah, it's a 5 for me, man. And
it's a 6.
It'd be no shocker if this makes my top 5 albums of the year, man. Like no joke, front to back, no skippers. The only one you might skip is the introduction, and it's just because it's talking, it's like a skit or whatever. That's the only thing you might skip. But other than that, like, nah, the entire album is perfect.
Yeah. 5 out of 5 for me, man. Like, honestly, I could have a revolving door of whichever album that I consider number 1. KOD, Booger Ryan, Mona Lisa. You can't. There's no knocking any of the 3. Those are my top 3, and I just don't know the order right now. So
I pretty much know my order of the top albums of the year, but yeah, man, 2018 has been crazy. Good Lord, stupid crazy.
Well, we're gonna bring you back for the last weekend in December. That's when I'm gonna do all my end of the year. That's gonna be a long episode. But next episode, first weekend in December, I'm going to come back at the very least. I'm going to come back and talk about that new Action Bronson, that white Bronco, OldManLawrence. What's up?
When's that come out?
It's already out. I just haven't bumped it because I've been, getting ready for
when
this.
When did it drop?
Like week and a half ago.
All right. I didn't know that. I'm going to get on it.
All right. So next episode, come back. We're going to review that white Bronco, that Action Bronson. Reg League Podcast, episode 8, man. Hit us on the Twitters, Instagrams, Facebooks. If you listening, hit the subscribe, send in your voice messages, and just chill until the next episode.